The industry is basically a glorified pharmaceutical industry. Influencers are forced to continue taking these drugs, to continue the narrative of why they look the way that they do, and they cannot open up and say the truth about it, because if they do, it's going to cost them their reputation, it's going to cost them their business, their followers, and their future. The fitness industry needs healing. Many fitness influencers are using aggressive supplementation. They are using performance-enhancing drugs, and they're building a brand around this philosophy. When somebody lies that they're taking drugs, they have to take that lie all the way to the grave. Because here's what happens. When you build a brand around your physique, you'll be remembered forevermore for that physique. And any changes that you make, any subtle changes that you make in your aggressive supplementation protocol, they will go noticed. So these influencers are lying, taking aggressive supplementation, taking performance-enhancing drugs to look a certain way, to separate themselves from the masses, because I want what that person's doing. I want that person's program. I want that person's physique. I want their activewear and everything else that they sell, their supplements or whatever, because I want to emulate that same person. Here's the challenge these fitness influencers face. They cannot open up and say the truth anyway. You have to take that lie all the way to the grave, because the moment you tell the truth, you may end up losing your credibility, and you'll end up losing your brand and everything else associated with it. The other thing they can't do is open up and say, I was natural up until now, and now I have decided to jump on TRT or some testosterone or whatever it might be. Well, their physique won't change. Because if they were on it up until now, there's no changes made because they've been on it the whole time. But they can't sort of say, magically, I've just jumped on TRT right now. And that's why they can't open up and say that I was natural till now, and now I'm using drugs, because there is no difference between how they were to how they will be. Now, people like Coach Greg Doucette is very open and speaks about this, and I'm also one for it. It needs to be highlighted, particularly for the younger population, so that we can correct these expectations people make. There are youngsters nowadays without having built a foundation of muscle mass naturally with their own natural testosterone levels, and then very hastily they jump on cycles when their body's producing ample amounts of testosterone from a young age. So what they're advised to do now, what I would advise people to do, is to count the cost. Count the cost of your decisions. If you choose to pursue this path, what will become of you? If you're 18 to 21 and you're trying to grow massive muscle mass because you think it's going to drive you a lot of followers, you've got more coming your way. I hope that raises awareness. The industry is basically a glorified pharmaceutical industry. It really is. Influencers are forced to continue taking these drugs, to continue the narrative of why they look the way that they do, and they cannot open up and say the truth about it, because if they do, it's going to cost them their reputation, it's going to cost them their business, their followers, and their future. What the industry requires, it needs realism, it needs truth, it needs transparency, it needs people to open up and not be afraid to tell the truth. The truth shall set you free. People are afraid if they tell the truth, it's going to cost them their business, it's going to cost them their reputation. But if you're truthful from the get-go, one thing about the truth is the story never changes. In Greek, the word truth is alithia, alithos, without forgetting. That's what truth means in Greek, alithia, without forgetting. So when you tell the truth about something, in essence, you are saying a story you've never forgotten before, because the story never changes when you tell the truth. So if you do that, if everybody did that in the industry, that would create a paradigm shift in expectations. That would create a paradigm shift in how we treated each other. We would have less haters, more lovers, because nowadays everybody's hating because how dare you achieve that physique supposedly naturally? How dare you have that and I've got this? Or if I'm achieving my goal with aggressive supplementation and I'm lying about it, I want you to know that I am a phenom. I want you to know that I'm a someone, that I'm more than a natural, but I'm not telling you what my secret sauce is. And as long as I know and you do not know, one day the truth will ultimately be prevailed, okay? The truth will set you free. And I really feel that if we can start with fitness, transparency, on this channel, you're gonna get nothing but transparency. You're gonna get over 2 decades of this stuff. The lies, the myths, the mistakes, the setbacks, what it takes to build muscle, what it takes to drop body fat effectively. You're gonna get that right here, right now with me. I have nothing else to gain other than telling you the truth. We need more truth in this field. We need more truth amongst each other, and it starts with your next word.